Hey everyone, Ben here, getting underway for some Super Tour action at Zandvoort on RaceRoom. 15-minute sprint race ahead. I've started in P4 and I'm defending that position down into turn 1. Now apologies, I don't have any HUD for this race. Unfortunately, I had a bit of an issue recording the footage, so I'm going to do my best to give you all the race information you need. And the big thing at the moment is I've got a driver, Frulani, down my inside, challenging for this P4. I get a little bit blocked by the driver up ahead there. That's going to put me under pressure, and in fact, I've dropped down into P5 just now. You can see that Frulani has a nose ahead through the left-hander here. I'm keeping my foot planted, and I will have the high ground for the long double right-hander coming up next. Here we go. Can I hold the position then? Yes, there's no grip for Frulani on the outside line, and I'm able then to consolidate into P4, and I've got Javi up ahead in P3, and then the lead two drivers are squabbling as well into the middle part of this lap. Wonderful combination, this one. Superb fun to drive and to race, and this is a phenomenal race session with a huge twist coming towards the end, but more on that later. I'm tucked underneath then the rear wing of Javi up ahead, and I'm hopeful that I'm going to be able to put some pressure on him as we get going properly into this race. Now, we've survived the opening lap here at Zandvoort. If you've driven at this circuit before, you'll know that is no guarantee, so I'm pretty happy at the moment that we haven't picked up any damage. We haven't lost any positions, and I'm now coming through towards the final corner of the opening lap, putting pressure on the Volvo driver up ahead and hoping to get a bit of a slipstream down the start-finish straight here. If I can, then maybe I can mount an attack into T1. You can see up ahead one of the Renault Lagunas peeling off to the right-hand side there. He was clearly looking for a bit of a move. I'm not going to be close enough to have you up ahead this time around. Going to have to just settle for my 4th place so far in this race, and now we get ready for the very technical twisty section and into the banked left-hander coming up, and I'm going to try and just sneak a move down the inside there, just about enough room. Can I get the power down early enough on exit? We're side by side on exit here. Fantastic racing, but it looks as if Javi's just got a little bit more grunt out of the corner there. I'm going to have to settle in behind him. Visibility very poor heading into the next braking zone. And now I'm going to just try and position my car around the outside, but just as we saw with Frulani on lap 1, there's not a lot of grip around there. I had to relent, give up the challenge for this lap, but hopefully I'll be back to fight for it again soon. And yes, we're forward now onto lap 2. You can see the distance pretty well the same as we're coming through T1 there, still in P4. But the more time I'm spending behind this driver up ahead, I am losing touch a little bit with the lead two drivers. So, got to try and put some pressure on as we're about to hit this undulating, snaking section of track, which is flat out, and a good chance to just get in the slipstream here once again of the driver up ahead, and maybe, just maybe, put some pressure on enough to get him to make a mistake. Wow, he's braked early into that corner. I very nearly smashed into his rear end there. Thankfully, I was just alert enough to get on the brakes myself and not cause a big shunt there. I did not anticipate him slowing down that much into the corner. Thankfully, we both survive, and I haven't dropped back too far either, so I can maintain the pressure through the middle part of this lap. Some fantastic corners on this circuit, multiple lines through them. Definitely the chance to race side by side, but actually it is very difficult to mount an overtake. It does sort of require one of the drivers involved to make a mistake, and as we're coming through then to begin lap 3, I'm still trying to pile the pressure on and get up into these podium spots. Now then, this time around we are just a little bit further back, heading into the banked corner, and that might just give me a bit of an opportunity because I'm able to get a better exit from the corner. I haven't compromised my speed as we emerge there from the turn, and you can see I'm visibly closing in here on Javi up ahead as we get ready for the very difficult middle section of the lap. But again, I'm far enough back to not lose speed through this corner or get caught out by him braking up ahead. And already in the cockpit, I'm not thinking about this corner, I'm thinking about the next one, and that I might have an opportunity to dive down the inside. Very wide corners coming up here. Yes, and I hit the apex. We're gonna be side by side all the way through it. I've popped the TV camera up so you can see that action live. Here we go then. Through the left-hander once more. He's on my inside. Very good racing. Room afforded both ways there. A little bit of door banging on the exit. And now it's a drag race to the chicane. I've got the inside line, but we get a big hit as we come towards the braking zone. Not quite sure what happened there either. Have he lost the car under braking, or he was a bit grumpy that I was making the move stick? We can check it out again here on replay and just see how that all played out. Then you can see I've managed to maneuver myself down the inside for this corner, but the nature of the circuit means Javi will be able to strike straight back through the left-hander. He gives me plenty of room on the exit, that's great, and then we do just come together again on the straight, and then here's the big wobble heading at the braking zone. I think maybe he did just lose the rear of the car, I'm not sure. He was flashing his lights down the next straight, so maybe he was just a little bit upset that he'd lost the position. But another Laguna driver who was making progress was Dave Cam. Yes, that's right, Dave Cam is on this grid as well. He started from the back of the field. I think this was something of a sighter race for him. He's got a different race video up on his channel at the moment, but look at this, great overtake through the final corner. He made his way up into the midfield from the back of the grid. But for my race, we're on to lap 8 and I've broken clear of the drivers behind. I'm now trying to close in on P2 man Martin. I've managed to get the gap down from a few seconds to under 1 second. But this is the penultimate lap of the race. The race leader is within sight, but I'm surely not going to have enough time now in order to catch them. Maybe, just maybe, I can pressure Martin into a mistake. I think at this rate of catching, it's going to take us right the way to the final corner of the race. And that is dependent on me being able to maintain my pace, not push too hard, and ultimately make a mistake. So here we go then, just a couple of corners left. The bank turns before the start-finish straight, and you can see the gap has come down just a little bit further. We're now well within 3/4 of a second, and oh, look at that, an example of pushing too hard there. That's going to cost me on the exit, and it's going to cost me speed all the way down the start-finish straight as we get ready for the final lap of this race. Have I blown it? Well, this next braking zone is a big one to try and gain some of that time back. Here we go then. Can I get the car stopped, turned, and on the gas nice and early? I've been strong here all the way through the race. And yes, I was a little bit quicker than Martin up ahead. Now remember, I mentioned a twist at the beginning of this video. Keep your eyes peeled for what happens next as we're coming through the banked corner. And once again, I've closed in a little bit further on Martin there. We're going to pop up the TV camera in a second and you'll see P1 man Catalani. We haven't featured him at all so far in this race. He's about to make a big mistake as he gets wide through the big right-hander. There he is, off to the left-hand side. I'm going to keep it nice and tucked narrow. This battle is now for P1 on track, and look at that. Martin's clearly slowed through that section of track as well, uncertain how Catalani was going to rejoin, and now he's made a mistake. Unbelievable. We've gone from P3 without really much hope of getting P2, and now with just a handful of corners left in this race, I'm leading. Unbelievable. I don't think I've ever been this lucky in an online sim race before in my life. I've been doing this for 5 years now. I've never had a situation like this before. We've got the perspective of Martin behind. He's only half a second back, but I've now just got to keep it neat and tidy through the next couple of corners, and I'll have bagged the most unlikely race win. Keep the car nice and tight through the right-hander, avoid the gravel on the left, and yes, nice exit through the final corner. And well, this has been extremely fortunate, but when you win as rarely as I do in online sim racing, you take them wherever you can find them. And there it is, P1. Unbelievable. A really fierce battle in the first half of this race, and then just getting my head down, getting some good laps in, and you can see I've actually finished with the quickest lap time of the race. So I did have some decent underlying speed, no doubt about it. I got a big slice of luck as well, but P1, we've got to enjoy that, and this combo is extremely enjoyable. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, leave a like, get subscribed, and I'll see you on the next one.